H. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so we all start out with Nebensätze. So Nebensätze are subordinate clauses, and in this case, they are conditional. So there's a question, do you have time? Yes or no? When? Tomorrow. And if that condition is given, so Bedingung, if that condition is given, then we have an option. And what is the option? We could meet. So the answer is maybe I have time. So it's a positive and a possible negative. So then in order to define the conditional sentence, we have the when and dann sequence, which is in English the if and then. So if you have time, then we can meet. Well, then obviously, if you have no time or if you don't have time, then we cannot meet. So we come back to the condition to have time and the option to meet. And we express it with the when, dann, which is your if, then. All right. So this is one. Now, just like the beautiful Germans, yeah, they have not just one way of saying the same thing, but two ways. So then, instead of wenn, we can also use falls. Okay? And like they say, konditionale Nebensätze kann man mit wenn oder falls einleiten. So, wenn means if. Falls means in case of. So, if it is cold, then Juanita puts on a shirt. Or, in case Juanita feels cold, she puts on a shirt.
So what would you say you would use falls instead of then? Is there a particular case when you would use one over the other? Or just whatever makes sense in the sentence?
Usually we use wenn.
Okay.
Falls we can use, but it's not as common.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here we go. Very interesting. Wenn es morgen regnet. So if it rains tomorrow, what are we gonna do? Well, apparently, we had planned to go to the zoo. Okay, so this is right here. This is our plan. Our plan is to go to the zoo. Beautiful. But now there's a condition. What about the condition that it rains tomorrow? Okay, so if or in case it rains tomorrow. And again, here in English, you can also choose either one. And the question is, which one would you choose? Well, I'll probably choose in case it rains tomorrow, because we don't really know. And looking at the weather app, inconclusive. There's a 50% of chance of rain. Okay, so what does that mean? Does it rain? Will it rain? Will it not rain? So in case it rains, right, then we will not go. So as you see, here we go. Now we got the negative. So in case the positive, it rains, then we will negative not go to the zoo. Now, contrary to that, because we always have to have both cases. Yeah, I mean, we can't just use one. So in case it doesn't rain, well, guess what? Then the condition is, yeah, let's go to the zoo. So up here, we said, if you don't have time, then we can't meet. If you have time, then we can. Now here, we got a statement about doing something or not doing something being conditioned on if it rains or doesn't rain tomorrow.
In computer languages, parentheses typically mean optional. So is Don required here, or is it optional?
It's optional.
Okay.
So wenn es morgen regnet, gehen wir nicht in den Zoo.
Okay.
So the done is implied. And the same in English. If it rains, we won't go.
Yep.
If it rains, then we won't go.
Okay.
Either one is correct. So the concept up to this point is clear, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then let's move forward. All right. So here we have two sentences. Okay. The first sentence declares, siehst du schlecht. So if you cannot see well. In other words, if you have problems with your eyesight.
Okay.
And all three of us, of course, are wearing glasses. All right. So what are the recommendations? When the condition is that you see that you have problems seeing or reading, well, then sit yourself in the first row. So my daughter, Nicole, is standing in the middle of the kitchen. And she says, Papa, what time is it? And there's a big clock on the wall. And I said, Nicole, the clock's right there. She says, yeah, but I can't read it.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Like, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Und sie ist nicht 4 Jahre alt, right? She's not 4 years old. So
Nein, sie war schon in der 2. oder 3. Klasse. Okay? Sie war schon in der Schule.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how she got through 1st and 2nd grade, considering she can't see the blackboard.
Holy cow.
And I'm surprised she actually got the regular grades. Right? But so, it's It's amazing how you discover certain things with your kids. So then I took them all to get their eyes checked. And we realized not just one of them needed glasses. Okay, so now.
Yeah.
Let me just tell short. My friend is an ophthalmologist, and his wife went in for a driving test. This was 2 or 3 years ago, and so they put the patch over one eye, and you're supposed to read the
Right. Yeah.
read the thing. And she said, "Well, I don't see anything." And they go, "What?" This is they're covering both eyes. They know your eye is. She had her cataract in one eye was so bad she couldn't see, and she didn't even know it.
Wow.
And she's 60, mid-60s at the time. I mean, she's like a year older than me. And her husband's an ophthalmologist. I mean, that was the irony. I mean, he fixes these things. So anyway, it's
that is an irony. Yes, it is. Okay. So the condition is, in this case, somebody does not see or read well. Okay. So the recommendation is, well, sit in the first row. So now, of course, we turn this around. And in this case, we have a must in here. Right?
Okay. Must.
And this must is basically, it could be any modal verb, any helping verb that you want to use. There's no real reason why you must sit in the first row. Yeah, I mean,
you could, you can.
You should, you could, yeah. So these guys use must. Okay.
Okay.
So the recommendation is you must sit yourself in the first row, comma, if you see bad or if you cannot see. And in the book, there's a comma, but of course it should be a period. And again, we have the comma. We have our, and we used blue yesterday for our connector. And we use purple for our verb. Knowing that in the Nebensatz, after the connector comes the pronoun, and at the very end comes your verb. So the answer is, du musst dich in die erste Reihe setzen, wenn du schlecht siehst. So you must sit in the first row if you can't read well. Okay? All right. So now we have the next condition. The condition is, oh my goodness, you need a vacation.
Okay.
And it's a question. Brauchst du Urlaub? I mean, are you so stressed or whatever? I mean, do you need vacation? Well, what's the solution?
So go talk to the boss.
Ask the boss.
Right, then go to the boss. Yeah. So in English, there's talk, because that's obviously what we're going to do. We're not just going to go there. We're going to talk to the boss. In German, it says, well, dann geh doch zum Chef. All right, go to your boss. Okay. And once again, since we're going to turn the sentence around, and then we start with our do, then we start with our verb, and this is a helping verb, a modal verb, so we know that the other verb comes right before the comma. And then what is it that we have to do? Du musst, zum Chef gehen. Okay? This doch in here is it's like then go to the boss. Okay? So it is not a main part of the sentence. So what do we have to do? Du musst zum Chef gehen. So that's the action. And what is it conditioned on? wenn or false, whichever one you want to use. Then we have the pronoun, du. Then we have the rest of the sentence, which in this case is only Urlaub. And then we got the verb at the very end. All right, so. Okay. Du musst zum Chef gehen. We got the connector, wenn. And we got the verb in the very end. Brauchst du Urlaub? Dann geh doch zum Chef. Also, du musst zum Chef gehen, wenn du Urlaub brauchst. All right, so now, what is the condition?
Do you know the way? Wet thick?
Okay, but
Not.
okay, right.
Do you,
Do you- yeah.
do you not know the
Do
way?
you not know the way?
Do you not know the way? Right.
Okay.
Well, what is the solution?
Then ask somebody.
Then ask somebody, right? So what is the sentence?
Du musst jemanden
Jemanden, ja,
jemanden fragen,
fragen,
wenn du den Weg nicht kennst.
okay? Ich kenne, du kennst. Er kennt, wir kennen, ihr kennt, sie kennen. So very simple. Du musst jemanden fragen. So that is what you're gonna do. And what is it conditioned on? Well, you don't know the way. Make sense? Okay. So again, what is the condition?
You gonna try this one, Anita?
Well, I'm trying to remember what Aufgaben is that. Do you have a problem with this? Can't remember what that is.
I'm guessing homework from the
Exercise. Okay. Right.
Exercise.
Okay.
maybe I have a problem with the spelling.
Oh.
Exercise.
Like that?
Exercise.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Exercise, it could be a task. Okay.
Okay. No problem with this task. And please ask the teacher for help.
Right. Then,
okay.
Please. Okay. Then why don't you please ask the teacher for help?
All right. So, du hast.
Okay, careful. We got up here.
Right.
Not hast. What's the verb up here?
Must.
Must. Right. Okay, so. Because this is what you got to do. This is the solution to whatever condition you're facing.
Okay. So you must.
Okay, so remember we got this.
Ask the teacher. So.
Right. Yeah. So
All
this
right,
is the
so
sentence we have.
All right.
Yeah. Du musst.
Die Lehrerin.
Die Lehrerin.
Lehrerin Hilfe. Dann.
Wait.
Oh.
You got your helping verb here.
Right.
Okay. So if you got your helping verb, then of course you need your main verb.
Okay. That's a verb. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well,
Bitte is a verb. Okay.
what is the verb?
That's you said that was please in that sentence. What am I missing?
Okay, because the verb bitten means to ask.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
That's where, okay.
So what are you asking?
For help.
Okay.
Right?
So the whole concept in this case is Hilfe bitten.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So du musst die Lehrerin Hilfe bitten.
Right.
Wenn hast du Probleme, wenn du hast, habe du. This looks so easy when Michael does it.
Okay. Why? Because don't forget, we got something in between. Then we got our main verb. And then plus at the end, we have our conjugated verb. Okay. And in this case, there is only one main verb. And there is no conjugated verb. Because there is no
So why is that not? So
there's
okay,
no
du
past
haben.
participle. So
So
basically
du
your
haben.
main statement is du hast Probleme mit dieser Aufgabe. Okay? And so this here is your verb. You have problems.
Right.
Okay? So this haben is not the past participle of some other verb. So this is why there's no other verb here. And what they did was they simply put it in a question. Okay, so up here, the problem is, du kennst den Weg nicht. You don't know the way. So in this case, the condition is you have a problem or you have problems with this exercise. So, du musst die Lehrerin Hilfe bitten. Okay. So this is your main sentence. Now.
Right. So why is it not hast when you have problems? So why is it not du hast?
Because in the conditional sentence, when we have our main verb, always
at the end.
as the last word in the sentence. So we know that this haben needs to go somewhere in the back. Okay, so this is our main verb. So we already got the do, so we can remove that. So what's left over?
Probleme mit dieser Aufgabe.
That's what's left over, and that's why we stick this up here. Now we can remove what's in between. And we have the verb in the end.
These are a problem for me.
Well,
I
once again,
always get these wrong in Duolingo too. I just don't understand all of the different places to put everything, and the verb goes at the end.
the only two things that you must really focus on is that after the comma, you get your connector.
Right.
Okay? And everything in between can go any which way usually, but the most important part is that your verb has to go
At
in the end. It has to be your last verb. The verb has to be your last word. Okay?
Okay.
Which means for the next one, okay? What is your condition? What is going on in your life?
So if you're searching for an apartment,
New apartment, yeah.
Okay, you're searching for a place to live, an apartment.
okay.
So what is it that you have to do?
So Anzeige is advertisement or ad. Do you
That's exactly what it is, right?
does this say to post one?
Yes.
Or okay.
So what's the verb?
Well, it's geben.
Okay, geben is to give, but we don't give an advertisement.
Right.
What do we do?
Right.
We place an advertisement.
Right.
Okay, which means we look at the last word in that sentence.
Oh, aufgeben.
And now all of a sudden we realize, oh, the verb is aufgeben. Okay, so aufgeben means to place an ad.
Okay.
It could also mean to surrender. But in this case, of course, that doesn't make sense. Now, if we talk about Ukraine and Russia, and either one of them aufgeben, that means we will be talking about surrender, ceasefire, or whatever it is that they give up. Okay. So in this case, the verb is aufgeben, as in to place an ad. And of course, like we said, the ad is Anzeige. That's ad. Okay. And since it is a trennbares verb, we have it up here. Gib auf, as in your verb aufgeben. Okay. Which also means that if our very first sentence, very first word in the sentence is do, and then we have the connector, and we know we have then we know that the very last word needs to be what?
Aufgeben.
Aufgeben, right. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. No, should it be or suchen? Is it the first sentence goes last? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, switch it around. Yeah.
Tun.
Or Zucht.
Yeah, because it's two. Yeah.
Okay.
So we know, okay, so here in this, on this side, the last word would be aufgeben before the comma.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
So you could, is it du solltest? Is that should? You should? You could, instead of musst, you could do solltest? Is that
it is any
correct?
which,
Okay.
any which word you would like to
I'm just
use.
trying to remember. So
Yeah.
du solltest eine Anzeige aufgeben. Wenn du eine Wohnung suchst.
Okay.
So you should place an ad if you're looking for an apartment.
Yeah.
Or a place to live.
Yeah. Okay, so now you put an E in here to solltest.
Oh, should it be sollst? I couldn't remember. That's why.
Okay. Now, to solltest, if you put the E in there, this makes it a recommendation.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Du sollst makes it a command.
You should.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, like you said, one is you must, so it's a command. And sollten makes it a recommendation. You should.
So what's the infinitive for solltest? Is it
Sollen.
Is that, so they're both sollen.
Yep.
Oh.
Except one is imperative. And the other is a recommendation.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, and since we are wonderfully healthy people who love the outdoors, so Juanita, let's take a look.
So this is willst du in Bergen wandern? Dann kauft dir doch gute Schuhe. So if you want to go hiking in the woods,
Not the woods, in the Bergen.
what's the Bergen? Mountains.
Mountains.
Then buy a good pair of shoes.
Yes.
Or buy good shoes. Yeah.
So
buy good shoes.
what is the concept of a good shoe?
A hiking boot.
Exactly. Okay. So it's implied.
Right.
Yeah. So some guy, I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months ago, he went up into or on top of the Zugspitze, which is the highest mountain in the German Alps. And he reached the cross, which is fairly easy to reach, but he slipped and fell and killed himself in the fall.
Oh gosh.
Okay? So then when they rescued him, what kind of shoes was he wearing?
Mm.
Ah, okay. So he had sneakers on,
Oh,
which for mountain climbing in the snow, consider it's snowy up there,
yeah.
is not recommendable
Not
even in
good.
the summer. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he just slipped and fell. And you hear about
Mm.
all these YouTubers, all these crazy people that I think there was a girl that just fell into the Niagara Falls or something that she slipped. And since they're
Oh,
filming
gosh.
themselves as they die,
Uh,
uh,
yeah.
live on whatever they're streaming, I was like, whoops, sorry. And then they just slip and are gone forevermore. Okay? So this is why gute Schuhe doesn't just mean a high-end pair of Gucci sneakers or whatever, but of course, in this case, shoes suitable for whatever it is you want to do.
Hiking.
All right, so now let's go. What do you have to do?
Du musst
Du musst.
kaufen.
All right, kaufen would be the last word in front of or right before
That's
the
right.
comma.
Du musst dir gute Schuhe kaufen, wenn willst du,
Ja,
wenn
willst,
du,
aha, wenn
ja,
du.
du in den Bergen wandern willst.
Now translated.
You have to buy good shoes when you hike when you want to hike in the forest, in the mountains, when you
In the
want to hike in the
mountains.
mountains.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's forest? Why do I keep getting that confused?
Beats me. Why you get it confused?
What is forest? Valda. Yeah. Okay.
Schwarzwald. Is that the Black Forest?
Schwarzwald. That's right.
Schwarzwald.
Schwarzwald. Yes. Okay. Der Wald.
Schwarzwald.
I guess I just haven't seen that word in a while.
Like forest. So why is it called Schwarzwald?
I don't know. I always assumed it was because the trees are so big and thick that it's just dark when you're in there. But I don't know.
The
Is that right?
the foliage is dark.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know what kind of trees those are, but the whatever leaves it is that are on those trees give
It's a dark green.
give it a very, very dark color.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. So what's the condition and what's the solution?
On this one, it's are you bored? I think langweilig is bored. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Then read a book.
Okay. So
So we
Juanita.
say
It's what we used to tell our kids in the summer. Read a book.
Right. That's right. Yep.
Oh, okay. So what is this one? Du musst.
Du musst.
Du musst. Doch ein Buch liest. Ein Buch liest.
It is du liest ein Buch, but that's if the verb is in the second position. But since you're conjugating the verb müssen, du musst, then the verb that comes at the end of the sentence is in its, right up here.
Lesen.
Lesen, right?
Lesen.
In its infinitive, lesen. Du musst ein Buch lesen.
Wenn du
Then?
Dir.
Dir.
Langweilig
Lang. Langweilig.
Langweilig ist.
Okay.
Okay. You have to read a book when you are bored, if you are bored.
If or when you're bored. Yeah. Okay. Michael, what's the condition?
Do you need help? Then call me.
Right.
Okay. So let's see here. Du musst mich anrufen, wenn du Hilfe brauchst.
So, Juanita, is this correct? Yes or no?
I think it is, because that's what I was going to say.
So, yes.
But, okay.
So, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
That was a trick question.
I was like, well, that's what I was going to say. So.
Ah, got you sweating there.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, Juanita, the condition.
Are you cold?
All right, and what's the solution?
Then put on no, then close the window.
Yes, very good. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So du musst du musst das Fenster now what is the verb? Is this a
Ja, das ist
du
trennbares Verb.
Yes, one of those. So would it be Zumak? Zumak? Okay.
What's the infinitive?
So Zumaken.
Aha.
Yes. Zumaken, then du halt ist. Dir, sorry, dir. I was looking at the wrong one. Wenn dir halt ist.
So is this literally when it is cold to you? Is that what, because dir is or if it is cold to you, or like if it is boring to you? I'm just confused about dir versus du.
All right. So, if you are cold. So,
Okay.
du bist kalt means your whole body is cold.
Okay.
You are something. Dir ist kalt means you're feeling cold, although you
Feeling
physically
cold.
are not cold.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I could say, mir ist heiß. Okay.
It is warm to you. Okay.
So I feel hot. Mir ist heiß. Somebody touches my body and they're saying, whoa, your whole body feels cold and clam. Okay. Meaning, for some reason, my body is producing a high amount of sweat, which evaporates, cools my body down. But my feeling, considering my body has cooled down, is that the atmosphere is hot.
I see.
Okay.
Just,
So one thing is, what are you? Du bist. And the other is, what are you feeling?
okay.
What is your perception? Okay. So in
So ist
many
dir langweilig,
marriages,
feeling
yeah,
boring,
yeah,
Okay.
in many marriages, what's the big complaint? The man is sweating, wants to lie on top of the bed. His woman complains it's cold, she's under the cover.
Right.
And you're like, okay, so how is this going to work? Something's got to give, okay? Why? Because the outside temperature is equal for both, but the perception of one is different than the perception of the other. So going back to langweilig, if I tell you, du bist langweilig, what am I saying?
Oh, you are boring.
Okay, you are a bore. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You're a party
Yes.
pooper. Okay. So my perception of who you are is such and such. Okay. Now you could be the party or the life of the party. And everybody else is totally excited and happy about you. And yet, although you are the life of the party, you're the big clown, your perception of yourself and what you're doing is that although you're the party, life of the party,
Right.
actually you're bored.
I see.
Why?
Interesting.
Why? Because everything you're doing is routine, and okay, you got everybody laughing, but in reality, it's not satisfying to you. Okay, so that is one of the big. I think this is genitive. Why do we use dir? Because it's genitive.
So if you were going to say you were sad, how would you say that? I am.
Ich bin traurig.
Okay, so that one.
Because that is your condition. That is your internal emotion. You don't just feel it. This is your whole emotion.
Okay.
Makes your whole body and your whole mind and your whole demeanor sad. Okay. So if somebody's sad, you can see it in their face. They walk up to you and you're like, whoa, something's wrong here. He's slouched, crouched, no, slouched over, was it?
Slouch.
Yeah, slouched over, yeah. Okay. So now, when in doubt, you always ask. All right, Juanita, so what's the condition?
Woo. I don't know. I've been looking at this one. Glaubst du mir nicht? Are you not sure?
Okay. Glauben means
to believe. Okay.
Believe. Okay.
So do you not believe?
Believe what?
Me. Oh, sorry. Do you not believe me? Okay.
In other words, you're doubting what I say. Well, if you don't believe me, what's the solution?
Then ask Peter.
Right. Then ask Peter.
Okay. All right. So this would be du musst.
Du musst.
Peter fragen, wenn
Oops.
du hang on. Wenn du mir nicht glaubst. Du musst Peter fragen, wenn du mir nicht glaubst. Okay. So you have to ask Peter if you don't believe me.
Right. Okay. So today I got a post about politics. One of the recommendations was, du musst viele verschiedene Zeitungen lesen, wenn du ein komplettes Bild eines Präsidentschaftskandidaten haben willst.
Okay. You must. Can I try it? You want Juanita to try it?
No, good. I know some words. You
must read many. I'm not for verschiedene, many newspapers.
Many different.
And okay. If you want a complete picture of the presidential candidates.
Right. So don't get all your information out of one news channel.
One place.
Yeah, one place.
Yeah.
And definitely not social media.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, der letzte. Was ist die Kondition?
If you're hungry.
Okay, du hast Hunger. Okay, I need something, right?
Most of these sound like something your mom would say too.
Exactly.
So, du musst etwas essen, wenn du Hunger hast.
Okay, good. So the married daughter comes home. Mom, I'm home. Mom says, no, you're not. Home is where your husband and your kids are. Mom, what's there to eat? Whatever you go home and make for your family.
Exactly. Yeah. Not nichts hier.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
So that was a small section of Nebensätze.
Yes.
Okay.
Do some more tomato.
All right. So the question is, with vocabulary, understanding concepts, I noticed you basically knew 95% of what we exercised today. You knew your verbs, you knew your adjectives, you knew your adverbs. And all right, so the one thing that we talked about, today was right here, is dir langweilig. So that was an interesting one. And the same here is dir kalt. Right? So understanding the difference between you physically actually being something and the perception of what you perceive. And well, of course, you should know the difference between Berge and Wälder.
I will try to remember that now.
Okay. We did some trennbare Verben. Okay, so the first one was a little more difficult, and later on, zumachen, Juanita identified it. Okay, and then up here we had the bitten. So if it's in here, to ask somebody or to say bitte are two different things. Okay, so to ask, in this case, Hilfe bitten, to ask for help. Okay, so you forgot what Aufgabe was, exercise task. And apart from that, you guys did pretty well. So that means that your unconscious has already absorbed a lot of the content.
Good.
So you do know that we live and act and feel 95% of everything in our unconsciousness. We only do 5% or less in our conscious mind. And once we work through and stress over the conscious part, and then it turns into your unconscious to give you room to start working on the next conscious part. All right, good. So tomorrow, I hope we'll get through Übung 2 and Übung 3.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Bis
Sounds
morgen.
good, doesn't it? Bis morgen. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Tschüss, Peter.